So we're sending money outside of the United States. When we move forward with expanding the use of biofuels to replace imported oil, we're keeping that money here in the United States. When you buy ethanol, when you buy E85 at a local gas station like Gas City, and I do want to salute them, it's a Frankfort-based, Will County-based gasoline retailer. It's one of the leaders in Illinois and the nation in providing ethanol blended fuels. We appreciate that. But when you buy ethanol blended fuels, you're helping keep dollars in America. You're keeping dollars in Illinois. That's creating construction jobs, processing jobs, providing a greater income for our local farmers. It's better for the environment. If you care about climate change like I do. It reduces emissions, helping the environment. And of course, the bottom line is when you buy ethanol blended fuels, they're less expensive than traditional gasoline, so you save. So there's a lot more we need to do. We need to build on what we did in the energy bill of 2005. Later this year, the House of Representatives, as a member of the Ways and Means Committee, I'll be part of this process. We'll be moving forward on development of a second energy bill to build on the legislation we passed. I believe we need to continue increasing the use of biofuels. I've called for 25 billion gallons of biofuels, ethanol, and biodiesel by the year 2025. My legislation provides a tax credit for a new technology being pioneered by U.S. auto manufacturers. Essentially, it'll be identical to the hybrid tax credit that's out there, but this tax credit you would use for the purchase, up to $3,500 tax credit, for the purchase of a hybrid E85 or a hybrid flex fuel vehicle. So the marriage of the hybrid technology with the E85 technology, it's been suggested that as that technology continues to develop, it will potentially have the ability to get 700 miles to the gallon. So from an energy efficiency standpoint, that technology has tremendous potential. We want to encourage development of that market, and I would note that U.S. auto manufacturers, Ford and GM, are the leaders in that technology.
That's a proposed tax credit for this next energy bill that you're talking about?
Yes, and I'm proposing that. And then also, I also believe that the federal government needs to put its money where its mouth is, and that is that my Green Fed legislation will require all civilian vehicles operated by the federal government, there's about 800,000 of them, to use biofuels, ethanol and biodiesel. Today, only the U.S. Department of Agriculture makes that commitment, and some vehicles in the U.S. EPA. So my legislation would be
also proposed legislation.
That's proposed as well. So 25 by 25, a tax credit for hybrid flex fuel vehicles of up to $3,500. It's a formula based on the size of the vehicle, and then also the Green Fed legislation requiring government-owned vehicles owned by the federal government to use biofuels. The benefit of this is we reduce our dependence on imported energy. We replace imported oil with homegrown biofuels like ethanol and biodiesel. But we also develop the market because by encouraging consumers to buy more fuel-efficient vehicles that also use homegrown fuels, and particularly the federal government, which I say has such a massive fleet, we can really stimulate that market and encourage more retailers to provide these fuels. Of course, they have to put in equipment, and in the energy bill, we provided a $30,000 tax credit for the installation of the biofuels because they have to be kept separate from traditional gasoline. My legislation, the 25 by 25 legislation, extends that tax credit as well. One issue that comes up occasionally, and people will say, can we grow enough corn to produce ethanol? And clearly, if we want to totally replace imported oil, no, we can't. But there's other biomasses that can be used for production of ethanol. We throw away 800 million pounds of watermelons every year. In California, they raise watermelons just for the seed. So that tells you that the watermelon, the rind, all that, which is very heavy in sugar, which would make a good biomass source for ethanol, is one potential source. And there's lots of other potential sources.